How are you? We appreciate you joining us live on tonight. Listen, I'm Minister Lamont Thomas here at Greater Paradise Christian Center, and I'm joined with my two dear brothers and friends, Brother Harry Spikes and Brother Wayne Dudley. We've been talking all month about new doors, new people, and new opportunities. Bishop Shawn Bell has declared that over the house this month. And so the previous 2 weeks, we've talked about new people and new doors. And so this is our final installment talking about new opportunities. So tonight, gentlemen, I kind of want to just hear from you and let's dialogue a little bit about what we feel and what we see God is doing in these moments of new opportunities. So Brother Harry, let's start with you. Give me your take on opportunity. Exactly what is opportunity? Talk to us tonight, man.
Sure. Lamar, thank you for having me. I'll say this. Congressman Cummings once told me a long time ago, he said, ask yourself this question. Not why did this happen to you, but why did this happen for you? And a lot of people articulate opportunities as something great. Mm-hmm. It's been my experience that some of the hardest things that have happened in my life have been the greatest door openers for opportunity. They did three things. One, they educated me, right? Number two, it put me in contact with folks I would not have been in contact with because I had hard times, right? And then number three, when the door was open, it's always happens, Lamar, always. Somebody get into the same situation I was in, and I'm able to direct them.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's real good.
So that's how I look at it.
That's good, man. What about you, bro?
Opportunities. Harry actually hit it hit it spot on. Yeah. Everything is an opportunity. It's your perspective that makes it a door or a wall.
Say that again.
It's your perspective that makes it a door or a wall.
That's powerful.
So if you have the perspective, what Harry was talking about is that he said even in the low times, right? It's been some of your biggest opportunities have come out of that space, right? But you also didn't let that low time make you destroy yourself. Right. You kept your eyes open and kept your head up. Felt like one of those Papa Spikes lines right there. But it's all about your perspective. And if your perspective is not looking, is not open, you'll miss the opportunities that are actually available to you. And it's our responsibility to capitalize on what an opportunity is.
So it sounds like what you're saying is, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, opportunities present themselves whether you look for them or not.
Absolutely.
And so it's our responsibility as the individual to keep our eyes open and not negate what's in front of us.
That's right.
Okay.
Exactly right.
So I like that because there have been times in my life personally where I can sit back and recall now where there were opportunities that were presented to me and I missed them because they didn't have the name, the look, the aesthetics that I thought that the opportunity should have. And so what happened is there were seasons that I missed because I wanted the opportunity to look a certain particular type of way. For example, I remember my very first car was a 1997 Chevy Monte Carlo.
That's nice.
Oh, yeah. It was, oh, brother, come
Yes,
on,
sir.
what? Yes, sir. It was loaded, full, all black leather interior.
That's the one that looked like the Batmobile, right?
Yeah. The push button sunroof where you had to push it up and pull it back and lock it in place. Yeah. Had the whole thing in it, man. And so the funny thing is, I was looking to buy my car that I have now, a 2008 Volkswagen Jetta. I wasn't thinking about no other car. I wanted the Jetta. My friend had a Jetta. And my friend had the Jetta. He was a football star. He had the Letterman jacket, track and field, football, baseball. He was that dude. So I was like, he drives a Jetta. I'm going to drive a Jetta. Not realizing Jetta was $3,000 to buy. The car, Monte Carlo, was given to me free by the Air Force. The opportunity was there, but my focus was somewhere else.
That's a good point, man.
So the perspective had to shift to realize what I was missing in front of me. So I like that. So Wayne, let me ask you this question. With this month being, like we said, the month of restoration and new opportunities, new doors, and new people, what new opportunities have you seen unfold in your life this month?
Actually, I mean, opportunities have just been presenting themselves to me. And it's not something that I was necessarily praying for. It's not necessarily something that I was actually, I didn't have like an expectation for, but because of the work that I have been doing, it has afforded me an opportunity more like, I don't know why, but when you said it made me think of the word opportunity is really an option. You know what I mean?
Dig into that a little bit.
It's like an option. It's like I said earlier, it's either a door or a wall. It's an entryway or a boundary. It's your perspective that takes it. But when they come, it's your option. Like you said with the car, it's your option of how you decide to approach it. Do you value it? Are you grateful? I'm grateful. I'm living in this big space of gratitude right now. So the opportunities from just doing something because I felt led to do it has opened up opportunities for me now that are affording me, that are going to look out for me. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Absolutely. Yeah.
I think 2 things this month. Everybody knows I love my little brother Matthew. You know, we do everything, work on cars together, all that stuff. But our careers, we find ourselves missing each other. What I mean by that, we always talk on the phone. We never really have a good opportunity to really just break some bread. And so one of the tenants in a property that he and I manage in D.C., she passed away and died, right? So we go in there, and it's a mess, Lamont. I mean, it's horrible. And to the point where we got to throw stuff away, redo bathrooms, kitchens, even the floor. And we even took up the
complete renovation.
Complete. And my brother really didn't tell me what he was going through there, you know. But when he called me, I said, man, you supposed to call me on that. So I literally, and Bishop knows this, I told him, I took 7 days. I said, God built the world in 7 days. I helped my brother out 7. Literally, that's what I said, right? Yeah. And I went down, and man, even though we older men now, I realized how much we are so alike, even though we far apart. And I had to remember that, man, you know, mom and dad, they did an okay job with us, you know, and you forget the roots from which you've come from. So that's number one I'm grateful for. Oh, yeah, and we finished. Let me say that. We finished the house. We did. I'm sorry. We finished it. Let me give you the conclusion. We did good. All right. Number 2, back to your point about opportunities. For years, and Wayne will tell you this, even Wayne does this too, we volunteer for everything. You do, if it's positive, we volunteering. Yeah. And, you know, I've been doing homeless services for 15 years helping folks. And when Carnes and Cummins passed away, all of us at the office were looking for employment. But the next thing you know, I had all these people calling me in that same type of field of human services work that had nothing related to Congress, calling me, Harry, do you want a job? And I ended up taking the opportunity out in West Baltimore to help out Bond Secures Mercy Health with them, to be the executive director.
Sweet, man.
And that happened. There was 2 of my blessings in just this month. And why am I telling you that? Because I thought, based on your first question and this one, that, you know, I was doing that stuff and where was it going? But there was an opportunity, unbeknown to me, that was a 15-year opportunity. Doing something I love, volunteering, not getting paid for it, led to something else.
And so one of the things that I keep hearing everybody say so far is you were doing something that you were already doing, opportunities presented themselves to you. Something that you were already doing, opportunities presented themselves to you.
You got it.
I think that sometimes we miss the fact that if it's a God thing, He'll put it to you. He'll bring it to you. You don't have to go looking for it. I think about David. David was not looking to be king. David was in the field, working, tending to sheep. David was in the field, not in the house with his brothers, not hanging out, not cooling.
Doing the work.
Actively doing the work. In the field, defending the flock, protecting the people, so to speak, looking out for them, making sure they had they needed, providing for them their subsistence for each and every day living. And then out of that space, God sends the prophet to say, that's it.
Can I say this real quick? Yeah. And Wayne, you know how I am about faith. I mean, you guys pray much more than I do. I got to do a better job of that. But no. But this is what Mama Spike said. She asked me in the beginning of the month, Lamont, she said, Harry, have you prayed about your employment? I ain't lied. I said, Mama, I haven't. She said, well, try it tonight. I prayed to God and to my Uncle Billy, who's deceased. He was the coolest uncle I ever had. The next day they called me. I swear to God, I'm not lying. And that's another thing that we have to remember. Don't forget from what you've come from. You know, my mother and father, very praying people. I'm honest with you. I don't pray as much as I should. Mm-hmm. After that, man, I say little prayers. I say prayers before I came here.
Absolutely.
I mean, I said, man, God, let me have a good time with my brothers. This little small prayer,
Yeah.
of course, is being answered. But my point is,
But it's not really small, though, Spikes.
you're right.
Prayer is about the conversation. If you're not talking, you're not praying.
That's good.
So just if you just talk, like I think we get caught up in this space of the prayer has to look and sound a certain way. You know, back to that that expectation, which is unrealistic.
Yeah.
You know, how many people can really attain the thing that they think something is? Mm-hmm. Allow it to be yours. If your prayer is just say, "Hey God," blah blah blah.
That's right.
Not even necessarily a question or a request, just a, "Hey God," boom 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 boom. You know, and you just was talking about your expectation. You were really sharing your expectation in a prayer that you said before you came here. That's as simple as that, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then the thing that you're talking about, you said 15 years. Opportunity looks for function. You talked about David. Opportunity looks for a function. David was already performing a function. What God needed, he needed that function to be taken care of with his people.
Yeah.
So he needed to have.
Good. Oh, that's good.
That's what just clicked to me when you said that. And then Harry talking about the 15 years. I worked with Harry.
Hold on. I'm stuck.
That's why I said this is spiritual brother. I told you I pray more than me. I told y'all. Like, that's why it came out the way it did. The
Listen,
brother's gifted.
Hey, y'all, put that in the comment section. Opportunity looks for a function. Wayne, that's powerful, man. Go ahead, keep talking about that, man.
Like, okay, so I'll use Harry as an example. You use David, I'm gonna use Harry. Harry, literally, I worked with him and I saw him and I said, the day I left that office, I walked into him and he'll vouch for me and say this. I told him this straight line. I said, whatever you do in the future, as long as you stay the person that you are, you will always have my support. Right? Never left his side. We've been brothers since, right? But the thing is that same work ethic is the thing that he's saying he was already performing a function. He did it voluntarily. You know, housing is a thing for him. Yeah. So you said it's homeless
and homeless services, yeah.
And homeless services, right? Yeah. So all of that stuff falls underneath the function that he's been performing for 15 years. Yeah. So when he said he prayed, the opportunity started looking for the function that he already performs, and now he says he's executive director. We're not gonna just gloss over that like Harry didn't say.
That's a major move, bro.
But thank you.
That's we celebrate around here.
Thank you.
So listen, I think as our time was winding down, I think one of the biggest things that I've realized personally within my own life recently is that when opportunity presents itself, there's one major thing that you have to be prepared to give it, being the opportunity. And that's the willingness to be responsible for it.
Dig into that.
So I'll go back to the military. The opportunity to serve the country is a great opportunity. But the responsibility is to raise my hand and take an oath against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Even more so into that is to wake up doing basic training every day at 4:45 in the morning. To us, reveille. For no reason, every day. Monday to Monday, 4:45 in the morning. Go to sleep at 9 o'clock at night as they play taps. Rolling T-shirts in a roll. Everything has to be folded a certain particular type of way. You have to march a certain type of way. Not realizing that what they're teaching you is discipline. They're teaching you structure. They're teaching you how to maintain the opportunity they're giving you once you get out of basic training. I think sometimes God allows us to go through cycles that we don't see the benefit of in the moment. But it's our basic training. It's giving us the discipline, the consistency, the strength, if you will, that we need to handle the opportunity that we don't even realize that we've already stepped into.
So let me ask you a question off of that then. Let me throw this back at you. If that's the case, when an opportunity presents itself, you know how a lot of times we say, well, I'm not ready for that. My question is this: does the discipline come before or after the opportunity has been presented?
Being honest tonight?
All the time.
I'm just using your example because you said you learned the discipline after you accepted the opportunity to join the military and took your oath. The training came after.
Ooh. Okay, this is a good challenge.
You got him.
He got me.
So I think if I'm being totally transparent, it was both. My grandfather was a Marine Corps drill instructor for 26 and a half years.
Oh, you got it's in you.
So what I didn't realize is that waking up in the mornings on Saturdays, every single day of my life, getting literally on my, mind you, we had an entire mop bucket, Harry. The industrial yellow mop bucket. We had it.
With the wheels on it.
Bruh, with the wheels.
Right.
We had the mop head and the mop stick. My mom made me watch Cosby Show every day when I came home from school in Different World. That was my Black History moment every single day. So that wasn't optional. So the episode of the Cosby Show where Cliff takes the mop bucket and he opens it and spins it around and then flops it on the floor and then you get. I knew how to do it. But my grandfather's thing was, no, you're not using that. He made me get on my hands and my knees every Saturday morning with a bristle brush and a bucket and go in circles.
But I'm gonna tell you this. Not only does that build character, but I know my personality is such where I like being thrown into things. I do, Wayne, because for me it's like it's an opportunity to reinvent myself. Like I remember my homeboy, he called me up. He was like, Spikes, I'm having this wedding. I want you to dance in it. And I'm like, whoa. They're like, dance.
We still gotta get you to do your holy dance.
No. I'm talking like back, all right type dance, like straight up
in sync
dance.
The fact that you know them lyrics still just now was kind of impressive.
Thank you, brother. But seriously, like 8 of us.
Wow.
And at first I was like, man, this is lame, Wayne. But then I said, you know what? I used to dance as a kid. I always wanted to do synchronized dance. And I used to see people on TV do the whole, like, mall bomb.
Wayne, do you hear that?
Yeah,
I'm being straight with you.
I believe you.
And, man, we did it. Lamont, the crowd went crazy. And, I mean, we felt like superstars. And it was so fun. This is what he did, back to your military thing. Every Saturday we had to run 3 miles with him. After that, he had us doing training because he's a physical fitness cat.
Okay.
And so it was opportunity for us to not only bond as brothers, but do something different. So for me, I've always been that guy where I don't care if I don't know how to do it. It's an opportunity for me to be a new man, add something as a repertoire to my own DNA where I can say as a 60-year-old dude, yo, I did that. Imagine, Wayne, I'm going to be 70 years old one day. And somebody, Mr. Spikes, you ever danced in front of people before? I'm like, yeah, I have. And I can share that, you know? So for me, and that's why I enjoy this conversation, everything ain't got to be so heavy when we talk about opportunity. Sometimes opportunity could just be fun. I remember one day, Wayne, you know, he was getting his house together. I said, Wayne, call me. We threw that stuff on that truck, took it to the dump. That's opportunity to be with your brother.
Yeah. And I think sometimes what keeps opportunities from being used to the fullest extent is the fear that we have when opportunity starts going the right direction.
And Lamont, we had hard times. We had 2 dudes quit. One came back. Let me not make it seem like it was like, oh, man, we were all in it. We had some cats got to cursing.
Yeah.
Some friendships were being questioned. But then in the end, it was like, hold on, this for our brother. He ain't asked us for nothing.
And see, the thing is, sometimes opportunities are so out of the norm or out of our box. We keep talking about with the whole COVID piece, out of the new norm. Some opportunities are so out of the norm that if you're not careful, when it starts going the way that you didn't think it would go, which is in the right direction, nonetheless, you get fearful because the question comes, can I maintain? Can I keep it up?
And I got to say this. After that, man, there's like a dance show on TV. I watch it. Craziest thing. Now I'm like, oh, let me turn this to watch for 30 minutes. Because it's like, damn, I know what it takes.
How fulfilling was that for you to do the dance thing, though?
Oh, man, it was Oh, it was cool, man. I was super healthy. You got seniors in the crowd. His mom and dad were there. You got little kids, man. You got women were in the crowd. They were cheering us on. It was like, I remember like it was yesterday. We felt like superstars, and he was the main attraction. And for me, I have never felt more happy for a person at their wedding than that day. Till this day, Lamar, I still compare every wedding to that day.
I'm
We're
gonna
put you
throw
on
this
Dance
in
with
there.
the Stars then next.
But I heard something in that too, though, Spikes. You said they asked you for something that was so far. Your friend asked you for something that was so no. The opportunity asked you for something that was so far outside of your norm.
Yes.
But then, when you took a moment, you remembered that it was actually a part of your character as a child.
Right. That's exactly right. And as I've grown as a man, I've learned that the more things I do that are uncomfortable for me, the better man I become.
Which is every opportunity has its space to.
Oh man.
So that goes back to the disciplines, the thing that come after the opportunity.
There you go preaching again.
Absolutely.
And that some of the opportunities that have come to me this month have come from me going back to stuff that I did years ago and haven't done since. And it's been fulfilling in a way that I have fun doing it. You know what I mean? It's not work. You know what I mean? But remembering those parts, Lamont, you said your grandfather used to have you scrubbing the floors. So there was some preparation that you had that was from your youth that prepared you, or that had it familiar to you. But then when you got there, the disciplines that give the disciplines come after that give you the benefit to combat that fear that you said we have about can we maintain it. Yeah. Right? So Harry said one of the things you said was out of it, when I asked you how was it for you, you said I was in great shape.
Who has run 3 miles?
Right, but who would have expected that
Right.
out of saying I want you to dance with me?
Right.
So there's a benefit, that comes from taking the opportunity, even if it's far off. There is always going to be a benefit that those opportunities present.
I mean, even to the point of us all being where we are today.
Right.
Yeah.
You are an amazing father. I tell you this all the time. I'm not saying this people because we on live. I'm saying this because I
Appreciate
know
you, bro.
it. You are an amazing father. Since the
Yeah,
day
he
I
is.
met you, you have always made sure that your son is taken care of, and there's nothing that he'll ever want for. But you take care of him as a man takes care of a man, if that makes sense. So you don't let him have moments to where he can back out of his word, and even those around him can't say something and not do it.
And that's important for us to see who want to be fathers.
Yeah.
We got to see our brothers who are fathers give an example to him.
And even with you, Harry, I've seen you be one of the most consistent people since I moved here. I remember the day that you introduced me to him. I remember that day.
That was a cool day.
Yeah, that was good.
That was a cool day.
I heard that. That was a cool
was a
day
cool
when he
day.
met me.
That was
God
a
bless
cool
you.
day. That was a
But
cool
yeah,
day.
man. So, but what I said to say that even though we are where we are, we all took opportunities to get to where we are today. Yeah. There were a number of opportunities that were presented to us throughout our lives. Some we took, some we didn't take. But the reality is every opportunity that's presented, that whether we take it or not, it's still for our good. The Bible talks about in Romans 8:28, for we know that all things work together for the good of them who are love the Lord, who are the called according to his purpose. And so sometimes what happens is we don't realize that there's a synergy that happens between good opportunities, opportunities that we miss, opportunities that we're afraid of, so on and so forth. I was afraid to come to Baltimore, if I'll be honest. My mom is back in Columbus. My grandfather's back in Columbus. Everything I've ever known is in Columbus. All my friends, so on and so forth. I moved here with nothing or nobody. All I had was my car, my TV, a plant, and clothes. It was in trash bags, Harry. It was a beautiful thing.
I believe you.
It was a beautiful thing.
I believe you.
We all been there, right?
We all been there.
And so I came looking for, if I'll be honest, I wasn't looking for nothing. I didn't know what I was looking for. I came because I heard God. I was in a very critical and dark season of my life, and I came because I heard God say, this is a safe place. And even though he said it was safe, I was still afraid to take the opportunity. I was still afraid. But it's been the best opportunity I've done to this day. I promise you. It's one of the best ones I've ever moved into because I've gained so much.
What helped you jump the hurdle of what gave you the courage to make the move?
Easy. I remember I was talking to family and friends about me leaving. I only told 5 people I was leaving before I left. 5. My mother, my grandfather, Mamaw, my cousin Jerome, and my best friend Jada. That was it. I ain't tell nobody else. Nobody. They found out Sunday morning when my pastor said this is his last Sunday. That was it. Because I had made so many times where I was saying, oh, I got this opportunity, and it never came through. I didn't want to be embarrassed if this didn't come through.
You want to drink yourself.
Yeah. Right. So I remember I went to my Mamaw's house. That's when we made the pound cake that you like. Oh, yes. Yeah, good God. So needless to say, I went to her house, and she brought out a piece of paper that we had both been given in a class that we were in together. I have completely forgotten about it. It was a symposium. It was a preacher symposium. And there was one particular line, and it talked about how you cannot be so attached to the familiar that you miss out on the opportunities that are in front of you. Because if you attach to the familiar for too long, you'll never get to where you're supposed to get to in life. And she said you got to let go of familiar spaces to get to where God is really trying to take you to. That one conversation in her study at her house was the thing that let me know it's okay to go. It was, and I'll be honest with you, I heard God, but I was still afraid. I talked to Bishop, I was still afraid. My mom, oh, it's okay. Everybody, it's okay. Go, 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 go. I was still afraid. It was the conversation of let go of the familiar to embrace the new. You can't get the new if you don't let go of the familiar.
It's the enemy of progress.
The Bible literally says you cannot put new wine in old wineskin.
Yeah, I remember hearing that. Yeah.
So it's one of those things to where if you're trying to do a new thing in an old environment, it's not going to function. You got to be okay taking that step, man. And so it's just one of those things I really attribute her for my success being here.
I like that.
Yeah, man. So listen, people, we definitely appreciate you joining us tonight for this little bit of a conversation. If you were blessed at all, please put in the comments that you were blessed tonight, and we will greatly appreciate all that good stuff. But listen, fellas, I got one last question for both of you real quick. Harry, I just want to know, what advice would you give to someone who's watching us tonight who has an opportunity in front of them or who's recently decided to take an opportunity? What advice would you give them to how to handle it and how to make sure that they seize the fullest of that opportunity?
Keep your phrases of encouragement down to 2 words. First, always tell yourself, I can. If that don't work, say I will. If that don't work, say I must. And also...
Hold on. We're not going to speed past that.
No, I'm
say that one more time. But no, that's real.
First tell them I can. Second time, if that don't work, say I will. Third time, if that don't work, say I must.
This is to yourself.
And take it from a guy like me. It's okay to pray. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to stand up and say it for 2 minutes. It's okay to be on your knees and say it. Because I'm a clear example of, prayed when I wanted to, didn't pray at all, minute I did it work. And so, and I don't attest to being those guys that go to church every Sunday. But I am a guy that attests to walking with him in my heart. So that's the best advice I can give to anybody who finds himself in the wilderness and wants to excel. Because I'm gonna tell you the mistake, Wayne, and you and I know this. The mistake that people make is that they looking for validation. Right. You will find yourself where you have to be your own hero. You got to be. You got to be that Iron Man. You got to be that Captain America. You got to be that Black Panther. Because if you're looking for somebody to give you admiration, if you're looking for somebody to validate you, you're going to stay where you're at. But if you do those 3 things that Spikes told you, well, the 4th thing is pray. Let me not forget that. But if you do those 4 things, man, you're going to be all right.
Wayne, I like how you just mic dropped that real quick, though, Harry. But that was nice. Wayne, go
I
ahead.
won't break your mic. It's a nice mic.
No, these are real nice. Don't do that, please.
I think, Harry, that was good. I think that we don't encourage ourselves enough, point blank and period. To anybody that is dealing with an opportunity, the one thing I would say is commit to it. Give your all into it. Don't do it tentatively. Don't do it haphazardly. Don't limit yourself with fear. Just put yourself all the way into it. And I'm saying that from I'm saying that as a person who has dealt with wanting everything to be perfect before I moved on something. And that allows for, that actually makes me not want to move. It gives me, not procrastination, what's the word I'm thinking about?
Take your time.
Paralysis?
Yeah, paralysis from analysis. But then you instead of making indecision.
Got you.
Indecision.
That
That
makes
paralysis will cause that indecision. And the biggest thing is that if you have an opportunity, just swing. Take a swing, because I promise you, what I'm learning now is every decision is the right decision. Because if you don't make a decision, you haven't done anything. So just decide to go, or don't. But whatever it is, trust it, because on the other side, as long as you keep that perspective open and not let, if it goes negative or if something happens that makes you second guess it, just learn from that for when it presents itself again. The opportunities will always come back around. Opportunities will present themselves, and they may not look like Lamont said. They won't look like, it may not look like what you expected. Yeah. But the thing that doesn't look like what you're expecting it to might benefit you even more.
Yeah. Absolutely. When you were talking, Harry, and even to your point, I was sitting here looking for a scripture that a friend of mine recently gave to me, and it's Galatians 1:10, and the New Living Translation says, "Obviously, I'm not looking to win the approval of people, but of God. If pleasing people were my goal, I would not be Christ's servant." And so tonight, people, as we get ready to leave, I want to encourage you that in every opportunity that is presented to you, ensure that you're not looking for man's approval or validation, because naturally, as humans, we're flawed. And so there's a margin of error that happens with us innately. It's not intentional. Sometimes we take it as someone intended to hurt you or whatever the case is. And there are those times in life where people do those things. But more often than not, it's just human frailty. It's just our innate nature to not do something correctly. That's why we always talk about how faithful God is, because he's the opposite of what we are. But on tonight, I think the biggest opportunity that anybody can have is to accept Jesus as your Lord and Christ, as your Lord and Savior. So here at Paradise, we teach salvation as easy as ABCR. Accept him, believe, confess, and then you receive him. Accept him into your heart. Believe that he died, he rose from the grave, and he's now ascended, sitting at the right hand of the Father. And he's coming back for us again. Confess your sin and confess him out of your mouth that he is God, and then receive him into your heart and into your life as Lord of your life. If you do that tonight, or whatever time you watch this, we truly believe that you are saved, and we believe that you are a part of the family. And so on behalf of Greater Paradise, welcome to the family. And we thank you for taking the opportunity to do that. And then those of you who are joining us tonight, if you want to sow your seed tonight, do us a favor. Go ahead and sow your seed now. You can give by way of Giveify, PayPal, Cash App, or text to give. Those ways are there for you to do so. But more than anything, we just want to tell you thank you for joining us on tonight, talking about opportunities. So Wayne, appreciate you, bruh. I love you, man.
Love you too, man.
Harry, this is a good
Yes, sir.
conversation.
Oh, you're welcome.
Oh yeah.
Anytime.
Spikes.
I love it. I love it. Thank y'all. Good night.
I do need, for me, in this monitor. Yeah, please. I hear more in the house than here.
Yeah, I need to be turned up on the monitor.